you going, guys? Christmas is not far away at all, and what I've got for you today is a Christmas cake. It can be made over a couple of days, so it's just in time for Christmas. In my rush to get this recipe out, I've forgotten to record the first half of the recipe, which entails soaking 1 kilogram of mixed dried fruit. Now that can be sultanas or currants, apricots, you name it, whatever you want in your fruit cake, in 1 cup of fruit juice, ginger ale, or it can be alcohol such as brandy or whiskey. And this just sits in the fridge overnight until the dried fruit sucks up all the moisture and we can use it in our fruit cake. Right, while I've been talking about what I've forgotten to do, I have been cutting out some baking paper to line a cake tin with. So you just follow the same steps that I'm doing, and you can line your cake tin. It's important that you do, otherwise you might find that your fruit cake will dry out. We do cook it for quite a while, even though it's at a lower temperature. So just make sure you have a lined cake tin, as I have here, that we can put our fruit cake in to be cooked. Alright, we're going to start with our dry ingredients. So we're going to have to stick in 2 cups of plain flour, just sift it into a large bowl. And following this, we're going to stick in half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're just going to put this aside while we work on our wet ingredients to pull it all together. So we're going to begin with 225 grams of softened butter. Cut it up into cubes. It's a lot easier that way to blend it in with 1 cup of sugar that we're going to be adding now. It's just caster sugar, so you can either use a spoon, a wooden spoon, or get an electric beater if you're lazy like me, and just beat it until it's nice and creamy and fluffy. From there, we're going to add in our 4 eggs. Now you want to do this at one at a time. This just ensures that you mix it in nicely, and with each egg that you add, stick in a teaspoon of our flour mixture. This teaspoon of flour just prevents the butter and the sugar from curdling. You might have seen that it sometimes separates. This will help prevent doing that. So just do this until we've cracked in our 4 large eggs. Something I forgot to mention back when we were with the dry ingredients is that you can add spices to the mix. Now I've put in 1 teaspoon of mixed spices and 1 teaspoon of ginger. This just gives the cake a nice overall flavour. Now we can gradually add our dry ingredients to our creamed butter we have here, and we're just going to mix it in until all our flour is incorporated. And now we can put in our fruit that we've had left overnight, and we're just going to continue to do this until we have a nice thick batter like we have here. Now we can stick this bad boy mixture into our pre-lined tin that we did earlier, and just before we stick it into a preheated oven at which we've preheated to 130 degrees, we're going to stick in 1 teaspoon of water across the top of our cake, and then get a spoon and smooth across the top. This will give the cake a nice smooth finish when we cook it. So we can stick it into our oven. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to cook this for a while, so we're going to cook this cake for roughly 2.5 to 3 hours. Now this depends on your oven, the size of the cake tin you're using. I have split my mixture into 2, so I've got 2 smaller cakes. So I'm going to start checking mine at around 2 hours with a thin bamboo skewer. Just insert it into the cake. If it comes out clean, then it is ready to take out of the oven and rest. If it doesn't, just leave it in there for a few more minutes. Just keep on checking it. Once it's done, we can remove it from the oven and from the tin, and then stick it on a wire rack to cool. Now once it's cooled completely, you can serve it like this, it's fine. But what I've done off camera, I've just made a nice lemon buttercream icing. It goes fantastic with the fruits, and I've attached the recipe for the frosting in the information bar below if you want to check that out. So I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, a few days before Christmas, it's ideal for snacks around Christmas time or Christmas lunch. So I hope you find it as useful as I did, and thank you for watching, and have a Merry Christmas.